Hello and welcome to the Corona Yoga Challenge. Today is day 52 days. When you are practicing, check my website for health and safety, other videos and quizzes, and blogs as well. And do subscribe on YouTube if you are wanting to get regular updates, because they will be coming every day, but I can't tell you what time of day because sometimes the upload takes hours. For 10 minutes, you wouldn't believe it. Sometimes it's taking 8 hours to upload. It's a shocker and a joy, but there we go. That's part of the territory. So today we're going to start by coming into all fours. Let me just see. Make sure you've got your mat ready so that you are going to be nice and safe when you're doing this. So nice, comfortable all fours position to start with. You're going to be sliding your hips forwards and back. So we often do this to start off with. So just slide forwards and back. Feel that nice long movement over the spine. A little bit of space and activity in the feet as you come back. And you're using your breathing so that you feel quite settled by the movement and that your breathing stays at a natural rate for you. Now we're going to come up into dog pose, but we're going to do it a slightly different way to normal. So often I'll teach it where you're sliding your hips back and up. So we use the kind of momentum from the weight of the pelvis coming back that helps us to come up. Today what we're going to do is something which works the legs a little bit more, which is also really fun. So do adapt it if you need to. So you're going to start by sliding your hips back towards your heels. You're going to soften down to the shoulders, down to the elbows. So we've not got that tight feeling in the elbows or the elbows coming out. If anything, the elbows are facing back towards your knees, so that as the arms bend, they bend towards you. And we've got a nice feeling of activity through the hands. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep the hips back, and we're going to kind of keep them back as far as we can. So you might want to watch this one before you do it. So you're going to keep your hips back as far back as you can as you start to lengthen the legs up. So it's a really nice way of moving the legs and the back in a different way to come up and into dog pose. So comfortable distance to start with, hips slide back towards your heels, soften slightly through the elbows, slightly through the shoulders and away from the face. And then press into the hands, slide your hips back. So it's like we're coming into a long squat, so we're in a kind of very squatting position from here. And then we're going to start to lengthen the hips up, but you're not going to come up and forwards. You're keeping your hips back so that you're lengthening through the legs, and the legs slowly get longer and get that feeling of real activity through the legs. And then to come down, we're going to do exactly the same. So you're going to keep your hips back and away from your hands. So draw your hips back towards your heels, keep them as far away from your hands as they can as you come all the way back down again, and then eventually settle your knees onto the floor and then let your head rest down. So this is just a little in-between pose, very, very important child's pose, where we let the body rest, let the body feel, although it should have been feeling all the way along, but we come back to that kind of introspection and that kind of quiet space when the body is still. We're going to come up and do that one more time. So from a comfortable all fours position, toes are tucked under. You're going to slide your hips back towards your heels. Send them as far back as they will comfortably go. Soften through the shoulders so we're not tight up through the upper part of the body. And then start to extend the hips back so we get that lovely long squat feeling. And then slowly from here, start to lengthen your legs up so we start to not come towards straight, but lengthening up so we get that long feeling through the legs, lots of lovely activity. Still the shoulders are away from the face and the elbows are facing down the ways if possible. And then we're going to come back down, so slowly draw your hips back, down towards your heels. Keep lengthening the arms and the body. And then let your knees come down and onto the floor and let your head rest down. As your head rests down, just get that feeling that you can breathe into the back of your waist. So noticing the movement of the rib cage as you breathe in. And you might also notice the movement of your tummy against your thighs because of the extra pressure. So you're just coming back to that little bit of breath awareness. And then when you feel ready to move, you're going to bring yourself up into standing. So we're going to bring ourselves to a forward fold just for a moment. Do have your elbows rested onto your legs, onto your thighs, so that you're very, very comfortable. And then bend through your knees, lift up through your pelvic floor, up through your tummy, take your hands all the way up and overhead. And then hands come down to your heart. We're going to do a standing pose from here, so if you want to bring yourself to a comfortable standing position. So just nice and easy with your hands so that you can settle your hands onto something that's not moving, so that we have every chance of staying really safe and happy. What we're going to do today is we're going to do a variation of tree pose where we have the option of taking the heel in towards the top of the thigh. The heel can be rested onto the ankle bone instead, if that's better for you, or it can be floating, but don't have your foot pressing in towards your knee because it's not great for the knee joint. So 2 options, three. Heel on your ankle, floating midway or up and in towards the inside of the thigh. And what we're going to do with the hands is we're going to have a couple of options for them. So you can have your hands either just wide so that you're keeping your balance, or the palms, the fingertips can come down, or you can start to take the fingertips up, and after that you can think about rolling hands up the back of the body, so you end up with prayer pose behind your back. But it might be one of these options is better for you. So you're just going to work that out as we go along. In fact, why don't we do it with our hands just right now, so you just know roughly where you might be happy to come to. So you're going to take your hands behind your back, let the fingertips come together, and you're just going to settle your hands onto your sacrum and let your shoulders spread down. And then you're going to see if it's happy for your fingertips to start to face up towards the ceiling or up towards your head. And then gently start to bring the palms together. Think about the hands coming a little bit higher. At this point, instead of thinking rolling your shoulders back, think about conversely rolling your shoulders in towards you, and that's what will give you that little bit extra feeling of movement up through the back of your body. So if you can take your hands up here, it's unlikely they're going to be here when you're in tree pose because you can have other things going on. But it's just nice to know where's your really easy place for your body to be. And then we're going to come into tree pose with the legs, and then we'll see what happens with the arms. So hands settle it onto a bit of something so that you've got that support. You're going to step one leg up, let it come out in front of you, let your knees start to settle, the weight of your knee come into your hands. And then you're going to take your hand down towards your ankle if you want to direct your heel in towards your thigh. The supporting leg presses in towards the foot. We get that contact, and then hands either on your support or out wide. And then you're going to bring your hands behind your back. Think about the hands beginning to face up if you would like, and maybe coming up through the back of your body. If you're tall wobbly, please take your hands out and soften your standing knees so that at any point you can bring your foot down. And then you're going to release your hands out, give them a nice stretch out in front, out to the sides, and then let your hands come down and let your leg come down. So we come back to both feet even. We're going to come to the opposite side now. So same thing, leg is going to lift up, and it's either going to be on the ankle or floating or in towards your thigh, depending on what's going to be right for you this evening. This evening, it's totally not evening, just now. Supporting leg gets nice and strong, presses in towards your foot. Hands settle onto the back of your pelvis. Maybe the fingertips start to face up the waist. Maybe the hands come up the back of the body. Whatever happens with your hands, settle down through the shoulders, gently lift up and underneath the diaphragm. Stay steady through the legs. And then you're going to release your hands out, take them all the way out and wide. And then let your hands come down and release your leg down. So we come back to both feet even. We're going to come down to the floor now to do a twist. So if you want to bring yourself to sitting, we're going to do a kneeling twist. So if you just start by coming to just a normal kneeling position. More adaptions. Here we go. Still no good. Alright, here we go. So if you have just a normal kneeling position, just check that your feet are comfortable with this. So do be up on a block, or much higher if your body would prefer. And then from here, you're just going to take your knees wide and you're going to have your feet sort of crossed over a little bit so that you can take the knees wide. There we go, lots of back and forth for me. And you're going to let your hips settle down onto your feet. Shoulders release down. And then you're going to take one hand across your body, just ease round and into the open space. So I've just got my hand lightly on my hip. I'm not taking it onto the floor because I'm a bit higher up now. And you're just easing round towards one side. Bring yourself up and towards the centre. And into the other side. Same thing, gentle lift up and underneath the diaphragm, round through the rib cage, shoulders are soft. And then bringing yourself back to the centre. So if you've got your feet asymmetrically, just going to take the other foot in front. So do you see I just had my feet kind of slightly one in front of the other. So I'm just going to do the opposite way around now. You're going to bring your hand round to one side, ease up and over. Gently feel that spiral come up through the spine, up underneath the head. And then bring yourself back to the centre and to the opposite side. Same thing, it's that length in the spine that then allows us to come round smoothly. And then bring yourself back and to the centre. We're going to do a little bit of breathing from here. We're going to do some Ujjayi breathing. So we're just going to be doing that soft, very snory breath, easy breath out. So inhaling, and as you breathe out, either through an open mouth or through the lips gently closed, we're just going to make that gentle noise, that gentle slight snore. And last time. And then let your breathing settle back to its very normal self, whatever that normal is right now. So my challenge for you today, it's a plant-based challenge, and it is to have a little wander around your garden if you've got one. See if you can find anything that's edible and really kind of, or going to be edible, and kind of just make that connection with what grows in the ground and what supports us and keeps us growing. And if you've not got a garden or an outdoor space or anything growing around you at the moment, go onto Google, go find some lovely pictures of apple trees and just notice how their roots sit into the earth and how the earth supports the tree and then the tree grows the apple. Oh, it's all good stuff, isn't it? But yeah, just go enjoy that a bit. And my personal one for the day is I've got an apple tree out there and it's called Negremont russet, and it's a really old-fashioned apple and it's really quite exciting, and I've no idea if it's ever going to get an apple on it because it's still very young. But I'm quite excited about that. I think I'm going to go visit the Negremont russet apple tree today. Give it a little bit of hello. And then my quote for you today. It's from the Dalai Lama. If you think you're too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. If you think you're too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. So that's my thought for you today, and I'm wishing you a lovely day, and it looks like we've got more fabulous weather. I cannot believe it in the best way possible. So wishing you a wonderful day. Thank you.